Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where you find everything DIY and some home decor. In this video, I'm going to show you how we transformed this room from this old carpet to these new LVP flooring in just 2 days. If you're wondering what flooring this is, don't worry, it's all linked in the caption. I also included a discount code for you all. Before I show you how to install these floors, I want to thank Flooret for gifting us with these awesome LVP floors. Before we get started, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Your support really helps me make more videos like this. If you haven't yet, make sure to check out my video on how to remove carpet. As always, all the details and links are included in the blog post. It's all linked in the description for you all. Before you get started on this project, you want to make sure to measure your space to figure out how much flooring you need. Don't know how to? Don't worry, I got you. I put together a guide to help you figure out how to measure the space. We got our floors delivered on a pallet, as you can see. When you order from Flooret, you get a call from the delivering company, which may differ depending on where you're located, and they'll call you to set up a day and a time frame to get your floors delivered. It may not seem like it, but these boxes are heavy. Just one box is super heavy, so don't forget to protect your back and lift with your legs.
Look how pretty.
Yes, I'll be there. You and I, we can fly anywhere you wanna go. Find a place.
Before you start installing your floors, you need to let it sit in the room for at least 48 hours. This allows it to adjust the room temperature, but we actually did this before we removed the carpet. We started with opening a couple of boxes to dry lay the planks on the floor to decide on the layout. You should do this to prevent repeating patterns, and I actually put together a guide which you can see on the top right corner and also included in the blog post. It will help you prevent having H pattern or like the staircase like pattern. So this is a kit I got on Amazon to put the flooring together. It comes with the block, the tapping block, the spacers, the pull bar, and the hammer.
Take me off to heaven.
Dancing in your halo.
Yeah, she got me reaching still. Nothing to stop me falling.
Before you start installing your floors, be sure to walk around your subfloor and check for any squeaks or creaks, and you want to make sure to fix that with a couple of screws like we're doing right there.
Cause it ain't no lie, I need it more than any metaphor could express. If looks can't kill, maybe I like tomorrow.
With Flooret flooring, you want to start on the left corner of the room and install the planks from left to right. As you are installing your planks, you want to make sure to use your spacers against the wall to leave a 1/4 inch space between the wall and the flooring. The yellow things you see that I'm using in the video are the spacers. So this space is called the expansion gap, and it allows the flooring to expand and contract with temperature and humidity changes without getting damaged. I actually ended up having to buy more spacers because what came in the kit was not enough. I will go ahead and link all of that in the blog post, which will be linked below in the description.
That looks could kill. I don't wonder why I'm breathing heavy like the weight of it's on my chest. On my chest. Cause it ain't no lie, I need it more than any metaphor could express.
So a couple of things I forgot to record while I was actually installing the flooring. So I went ahead and grabbed an extra plank that I have to show you all a couple of things that I didn't do a good job of doing a close-up of, so I'm going to show you all right now. So when you're putting your first row, this is a plank, this is a full plank. When you're putting your first row, you want to make sure that this part right here, let me just get a little bit closer so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So you want to make sure that this part right here is a part that's facing you, and that other side right here is facing the wall, because this is what you're going to click the next plank into. So you want to put it against the wall, and remember from the clips that I showed, you want to have spacers, because the baseboards are not going to be here, so you want to have like your spacers to have a gap there. And then this is another scrap piece of wood that I have that got damaged. So it clicks right over here like this. Let me actually bring the camera closer so you guys can see exactly how this clicks in. So this is the part that's facing you, and this is the new plank. So this is how you want to put it in at an angle, and it just clicks in like this. And you want to make sure there are no gaps. Let me do a gap so that you guys can see what you don't want. So you don't want it to look like this or like that. So you want it to be completely flush so that there are no gaps. So something else to be aware of. So this piece was the end piece of a row. So if the plank was too long, so what was left, we cut it off right over here. But one thing to know is that this piece, it has to start a row because there's no tongue and groove right here. So you can't have any locking mechanism on this side. So this piece always has to start a row on the left. It doesn't have to be the next one. It could be the next couple of rows. But it's just something to make sure that you're aware of so that you're not cutting too many pieces to try to start a row so that you're not creating a pattern. But you want to make sure you have enough pieces. That's why it's important to have extra pieces. I usually try to count for like 5 to 10% extra of what I actually need to make sure that I have enough.
Here's a close-up of me using the tapping block trying to get the hang of it. To start the second row, use the leftover piece from the last row. Just be careful not to create a pattern by doing that for every row. To cut the planks, you can use a miter saw, a table saw, or a flooring saw. I actually decided to go with the flooring saw because I found it to be the most convenient way to cut the flooring, especially since I'm able to make cross cuts, which I will show you in another clip. But if you don't want to make an additional purchase, it's not required to get a flooring saw. You can just use your miter saw.
Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted.
The first two rows might take a little longer while you're getting the hang of it, but once you get past those first two rows, it goes a lot faster and a lot smoother.
Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear outweighed the person you are.
So now we're in the closet, and this piece right here is aligned with the outside over here. So I'm gonna need 2 more pieces here, but of course 2 pieces don't fit perfectly here. One of them needs to be a little bit more narrow. So the piece that's going back here, I actually cut it to length and I put it over here, and to figure out how much of it I need to shave off, I took a scrap piece of the flooring to put it back here with my spacers, and I just used my pencil to mark this. And now I'm going to cut this along the length right over here. So I forgot to take a clip of me inserting this piece that I just cut, but as you can see, this piece right here is not as wide as this piece, and it ended up fitting perfectly. If you have a door jamb, the easiest way to cut it to the perfect height to fit the floors is to use a scrap piece of flooring and set your multi-tool blade right on top of it while cutting, and it will cut it to the perfect length. Heroes tonight, we will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. So we're practically done with the entire flooring. All we have right here is this little piece to cut at the edge. So this is a plank that I'm gonna use, but I'm gonna show you all how I'm gonna measure this little piece over here. So I'm going to line, so this is the edge that I need that's gonna lock into this part right here. So I'm gonna align this perfectly with the one that's already here. I'm gonna take my spacers, and I'm getting another piece of plank. This is not the one that I'm using, this is the other piece of plank to use to measure that edge right here. So I'm gonna put in my spacers here. So I'm gonna push this to the very edge. And now basically, so this piece is what's going to fit back here in that back part. So you need to from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. Here's a quick clip of me using the flooring saw. My favorite thing about it is that I can cut the flooring lengthwise without having to go to my garage to use my table saw. But like I mentioned before, it's really not necessary, but it does make your life easier if you're able to get one. It felt so good to finally have that last piece of flooring put in. The last thing to do once your floors are installed is to install the baseboard. We decided to swap out the baseboards for this more modern looking one. This is about, I believe, 5.5 inches wide. I will make sure to link all of that in the blog post. And be sure to let me know in the comments if you want me to make a more detailed video and blog post about installing baseboards. Here is a clip of the finished room with the floors all done. I love how this turned out. I love it so much that we decided that we're going to be putting the flooring in the rest of our top floor. If you want to see how we built the playhouse and put the room together, make sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications to know when the next video is available. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you all found it helpful and that it inspired you. Like I mentioned earlier, all of the details are available on the blog. I will link everything below.